Now, folks, if you're watching this video, you're probably looking for a good dehumidifier. I've used hOmelabs dehumidifiers now for about 7 to 8 years, and they've just been reliable workhorses. I own 3. These are 2 of the ones that I bought this year. The third one's about 7 years old. So we're going to go through the differences on the 25 pint versus the 50 pint model here. So if you're trying to figure out which one to purchase, hopefully this video is going to help you out and give you all the information you need. Now, the first thing to talk about here is performance. If I'm going for outright max performance, need to suck as much moisture out of the air no matter what, I'm definitely going to go for the 50 pint here. This definitely, you can tell when they're both running side by side. This one is pushing out a heck of a lot more air, and it's removing a lot more moisture. The most I've pulled out in one day is about 4 gallons. If I was running it continuously and was more studious about getting to removing the bucket when it's full, I could probably pull out more than that. But this would be a thing compared to the 25 pint, where if you really need to get the tons and tons of water out of the air, a damp basement would be a great example. I'd probably go with the 50 pint. That's not to say with the 25 pint here that it lacks in a sense of, yeah, clearly it doesn't have the size, it doesn't push as much air, but still in the kitchen, when I was running it in the kitchen dining room area on hot, humid summer days, this one here, the 25 pint, was still pulling out 1 gallon during the day and 1 gallon at night. So it's still pulling two gallons out of the air. But if I'm going for major water removal, 50 pint definitely. Now, key point number 2, size and weight constraints. This is one thing where definitely it's something where if you need to move your dehumidifier around frequently and you don't have as much space, as much room, then definitely the 25 pint model here is going to be the better one to go with. The other thing too is that the air, it pushes out the top rather than the side. So the footprint of it in general is just a lot less. Both of these have wheels that they roll around on. The one nice thing with the 25 pint is it does have the handle on top, which further facilitates moving around a bit more if you need to. So I found the 25 pint is better suited for living areas where dining room, kitchen, living room, it's also, I'd say, maybe a little bit quieter than the 50 pint model. Bedrooms and all that. The 25 pint is probably going to be where I'd want to go with. Basements, garages, large rooms, especially real damp areas and all that, where maybe size and weight is not as much an issue, and it's going to stay in one place all the time, like I have set up here in my barn. With the third one that I have, then the 50 pint here is what I'm going to go with. Now, in terms of water removal, we already talked about how much potential water that these can pull out of the air in a day. You can also run these on turbo mode. Also, you can run them continuously. You can set the humidity level way low where they're just going to run all the time. It's totally up to you. Now, in terms of getting rid of the water, well, the canisters here, they're very easy to remove, and then also take the water, dump it in a sink, dump it in a tub, whatever, dump it outside if you want. And you do have the option on all the hOmelabs here, at least the ones I'm familiar with, both of these, they have a drain at the back that you can also set these up down here with this right here. I'll show you roll-in footage of my other one that is hooked up to a drain. You can basically plug these in with a hose and then essentially drain off all that excess water. You just have to make sure that the drain is lower than the plug here. Now, that leads me to, should you look at a model with a pump? So that is a consideration. If you do need to pump the water somewhere, like to a bathtub or someplace to drain, you can also get models with a pump as well. I've not done that, but that is an option. And so if you do think you're going to need to do that, or you need to pump the water out of the dehumidifier to someplace else, get the models perhaps with the pump instead. And I also find setting it up with a drain or pump, it is totally just about maintenance free. Other than checking the filter at the back every so often, You pretty much set the humidity level that you want, and it just comes on when it needs to, and the water drains off. And like the one that I have set up in the barn, I never actually think about it. It just does its job year round. I'll hear it come on here and there and just suck the water out of the air, and it just drains out the back of the building. Now, in terms of ease of use, they are very simple to use, and I'll roll in some footage here of the using the all the buttons and stuff. Very simple. You don't have to overthink this pretty much with these. It's a thing of where what I always do is just pretty much just set the humidity level with them, and it'll automatically come on or off to keep it at that humidity level. You can also use the timer. You can also set it to run continuously. You can also, if you set up the app, you can also use the app as well. But you'll find that once you put this in place, either model, the 25 or the 50 pint model, they both have similar controls. Once you put it into place and you set it, other than however you're going to get rid of the water, you really don't have to worry about them much anymore. So in the end, folks, what does it come down to in terms of whether you're going to get the 25 pint or the 50 pint, or maybe look at some of the other models that are kind of in between, or one with a pump or without a pump? You have to kind of look at those different considerations and your needs. Definitely, I would say the 25 pint model, if I'm going to go buy another one, it's going to be a thing of living areas and stuff like that. That is going to be probably where I'm going to go with the 25 pint model at. This one lives a nice life in the dining room, keeping up with the kitchen dining room area, and it doesn't get in the way and pretty much quietly goes about its job. So pretty happy with that. The 50 pint one here, definitely you're looking at places that are more suited for, that damp basement or something along those lines where, hey, we really need to eliminate a lot of the moisture in this air and make it happen. And so that's where the 50 pint comes in. And also too, it takes up a bit more of a footprint as well. So that's the consideration with that one. And I would say definitely with the 50 pint, it's going to be a thing where I'm not looking to move this one around as much, where this one would be maybe more portable if I need to shift it around. So definitely the size and the weight, that's going to be a big one that's going to come into play. Performance wise too, in terms of pushing out that moisture, it's going to be the 50 pint for the win, and all that. In the end, with durability and ease of use, like I said, I've owned hOmelabs dehumidifiers now for 7 years, and they just get the job done with no fuss. And so what more can I ask for? Never had an issue with them whatsoever. So anyways, folks, definitely check these out and give these a lot of consideration. I really like these dehumidifiers. They just do a great job. And definitely think about, do you need a pump or not? How much, space are you going to be taking up? How much performance do you need? All those sorts of things. And then decide which one you want to get. Have a good one, folks.